My name is Denise Deitchman, and I am the proud mother of Jolie, my beautiful 16-year-old daughter who is a person who stutters. I am very honored to share my story today from the parent perspective. Based on what so many other parents have shared in our opening roundtable conversations, I know many of you can relate to my story. I know this is a patient community, but I would ask you all to please be patient with me as my story evolves. Some of what I'm going to share from our early years might not be what you expect to hear, but please know, I'm totally shaking. Please know I'm just a mom doing everything in her power to support her daughter. Our story began when Jolie was just a baby. She was diagnosed with a very rare seizure disorder when she was just 6 months old. Our world was rocked. Many late nights of research in online parent forums led me to fiercely advocating for Jolie so we could assemble the perfect care team and begin her treatment. My strong girl fought so hard and was declared seizure-free in just 3 months. The best possible diagnosis, the best possible scenario given her diagnosis. Truly a miracle. However, one of the side effects from the seizure disorder was a halt in her development, so we assembled a new care team of physical therapists and occupational therapists to get her body strong. We did notice at age 2 that she wasn't talking yet, so we added a speech therapist to support her expressive language. Around age 3, we did notice a mild stutter, but all of the doctors told us not to worry, that it was common at her age and she was just finding her voice, so that we needed to be patient. By that time, she was meeting every other milestone for her age, so we were not concerned. Between age 3 and 5, her stutter continued to ebb and flow, but by age 5, it became evident that her stutter was here to stay. Like any parent, I did my research to find a stuttering specialist in our area, and she started speech therapy. With no family history of stuttering and not really knowing much about it, I was really excited to be working with a specialist that shared my goal of fluency. When she was little, speech therapy was fun. She had a huge sticker chart to track her progress. She got 2 stickers for fixing her words, and 1 sticker, and sometimes no stickers, when she had bumpy speech. But she was so proud of her sticker chart, she was making progress, and we were on the right path. When she was 8 years old, her speech therapist told us all about the NSA and that the conference would be hosted in our city that summer. This did not seem like something I wanted to attend. I couldn't wrap my head around why I would bring my child to a conference. We've all been to them before for work. They're not really that fun. To bring her there, it just didn't make sense to me. I politely said no thank you and brushed it off. Especially when he shared that the NSA was about acceptance of your stutter. And since her stutter was something that we did not plan to hold on to, I didn't see any reason to attend. At the same time, my husband was in touch with Tammy about a silent auction item for the conference, truly not having any idea who he was reaching out to or the impact that that one phone call would have on the trajectory for our family. After finding out more about the NSA, he insisted I speak with Tammy. Begrudgingly, I did. She worked her magic, and you can guess what happened next. When I was walking 8-year-old Jolie towards her first kid program at the NSA, she looked at me with those big blue eyes and she said, "Mommy, I'm not the only one." And it occurred to me that perhaps she did feel different from her peers because of her speech. I felt a little relief that maybe this was going to be a good experience for her. I introduced her to the girls sitting in the front row that looked to be about her age, Brooklyn, Morgan, Cameron, and asked them to take care of my girl. On the way out, I met Nina, who was in charge of family programming. She was friendly, kind, a teacher, and also a person who stuttered. I had never met another person who stuttered before, let alone an adult. Since Jolie was only 8, I really hadn't given much thought to her future, but just in that moment, I had kind of that flash forward, and I thought, okay, we're gonna be okay, everything's fine. And I thought, okay, maybe we're in the right place. Headed to my first session, I was so excited to hear what they had to say in the Evaluating Your Speech Therapist workshop. I knew we were in good hands, but perhaps this SLP, this was the one who was going to give us the cure for stuttering that we were looking for. Within the first few minutes, I knew my world was about to change. This speech therapist was saying the opposite of everything that I thought I knew. But more than that, everyone else was nodding their head in agreement. And I just kept thinking, what am I missing? Overwhelmed with emotion, as every first-timer will understand, I just started to cry. I did not know what was going on. The person next to me put her arm around me and hugged me and said, "It's gonna be okay." And I thought, were we doing this all wrong? Then another mom put her arm around me and hugged me and said the words that changed it all for me. The sooner you accept your daughter's stutter as part of her, the easier this journey would be. And I looked at her and I said, what? Where is the cure? I came here for answers. I'm paying for information. What is going on? And why was everybody hugging me? I was really upset. The next day, I attended the Just for Moms session, and this was it. This was the game changer. Throughout our journey, I made sure that my daughter was seeing the best specialist. I was working with her teachers to advocate and educate and make sure everyone knew how to support her. But not once ever did it occur to me that perhaps I needed support. Whew, talk about those tears, ladies. You know what I'm talking about. I felt like I could finally exhale. These women did not have the answers that I was looking for, but they really did understand what I was feeling. As a parent, you only want the best for your child, the path with the least amount of challenges. At that moment, I did not know what the future would hold, but I knew we had found a community that would support us every step of our journey, a community filled with love, understanding, support, and yes, acceptance. Being at the NSA would have lasting impact on all of us, but from that moment on, I knew our lives would forever be changed. To all the kids who stutter in the room, kids of all ages, please try and forgive your parents for what they did not know when you began your stuttering journey. And to all the parents like me who hold some guilt for maybe doing it wrong for a couple years, please forgive yourself for what you did not know. We all know we were just trying to help. We are all in this together. Back to reality, right? The conference ends. As time went on, Jolie began to make the connection that earning stickers for fluent speech, but not bumpy speech, meant that fluency was good, but disfluent speech, not so good. The recommendation came for us to practice speech games at home, and it transformed our once safe space into a therapy office and created so much tension between Jolie and me. My job was to sit across from her at the ready and cue her by touching her shoulder every time she stuttered, as if she didn't know somehow that she was stuttering. This was not going to work. In time, we learned about the American Institute of Stuttering, or AIS, and we met Mr. Carl. He was opening a new satellite office in our area, and we were introduced to a new approach to speech therapy, which was more about effective communication and easing the anxiety around stuttering, and less about trying to be fluent. This was a better fit for where Jolie was on her journey, and the speech games shifted from that focus on fluency to encouraging her to say what she wanted to say in all situations. Jolie was asked to be a keynote speaker at the AIS Gala when she was 11. We got to meet Emily Blunt, and things were starting to change. She was becoming more confident, and I felt our circle of support was growing. I wish I could say that Jolie's journey since finding the NSA has been an easy one, but there continue to be twists and turns along the way. That's just life, right? What I know for sure is that she has an amazing community of support, and all she needs to do is lean in. I know she is way stronger than she realizes. I watched it firsthand when she was a baby, and I've been watching her every day since. She is halfway through high school, and I could not be more proud of her. In addition to speaking at the AIS Gala, Jolie was also interviewed on the Today Show about stuttering when President Biden was coming into office. And most recently, she was included in a book about female advocates who use their voice to make a difference in the world. Appropriately called Force of Nature, Jolie had the opportunity to briefly share some of her story. Last year, Jolie helped start an empowerment group for teen girls who stutter with some friends that she met at the conference, and that group, now called Sisters Who Stutter, is part of the NSA family. Jolie was also accepted onto the TAC this year and is leading workshops for the first time. It's funny, I remember the chair of the TAC at our first conference. His name was Ben North. I've never met him, but But I remember seeing him during that conference and watching him and just thinking, gosh, that kid has so much confidence. I can't wait for that to be Jolie one day. So Ben, if you're here, thank you. I also want to share some of what I have accomplished over the years through my connection to the NSA. Attending my first conference all those years ago, the one I didn't want to attend, has turned into advocacy, education, connections, and unwavering support. I helped start our local NSA family chapter to create more community around us during the year, and this is my 8th conference. We did miss one in Newport. I have led various workshops over the years, including a parent session with my husband, a teen panel for parents, Just for Moms, which is today at 3 o'clock, and field day games for families. We had a great time yesterday. I learned that the conference is even more special when you can lead a workshop and share your experience with others. My goal is to ensure that everyone has a meaningful experience, especially those first-time moms, because I can relate. I also attend the monthly online caregiver support group as often as I can. Thank you to my girl, Jamie Saunders, and to Chris Rose for starting this and keeping us connected throughout the year. The NSA has a special place in all of my family's hearts. It's been so nice to see my son, Ben, who apparently is here, develop friendships with other teens who stutter, which helps him establish an even stronger understanding of what his sister might experience. And my husband has also created such great friendships with many of the people in this room. When asked to make a donation during our first conference banquet, my husband and I knew that this would become the organization where we would continue to invest financially. Becoming donors of the NSA is our way of expressing gratitude to the organization that has changed our lives. We want to ensure that the NSA can continue with its mission, providing programming and support for all of us and for future families. If asked to donate, I would hope that you would consider the same opportunity. During COVID and for the last 4 years, I've had the opportunity to speak with the graduate class on fluency at the University of Rhode Island. SLPs typically receive very little education on stuttering, and this is an incredible class and a great opportunity for me. My goal is to share our journey, answer questions for them, and help them consider how they would establish relationships with the parents they will encounter in the future. Speech therapy goals are important as a way of measuring success, but it can be difficult to measure what effective communication looks like. Thank you to all of the SLPs who are here with us, learning more and expanding your knowledge base. I am so grateful for this opportunity and hope that my experience as a parent can even have the smallest impact. While there is so much more that I could share, and I see that timer just counting down in front of me, and since this is starting to sound like my Oscars acceptance speech, with all of the thank yous that I've done so far, I'll add just 2 more. I just want to take a moment to thank Tammy for all that she has done for us over the years, to provide a safe space for all of us, to be able to stutter freely without judgment, to be able to learn from each other without judgment, to laugh, to cry, to share, and yes, to all of the hugs. You have helped create this amazing community. My family is forever grateful for the NSA and everything that this organization has brought into our lives. When I look around the room, I see this incredible family, our stamily, that we are all proud of, and I am so grateful. To my amazing daughter, Jolie, thank you for letting me share my story, which is your story. You inspire me every day, and I am beyond proud of the amazing woman that you are. I love you so much. Thank you for your time.